How's it going, guys? It's Rick from BrosTHEGaming, and today I decided I'm going to start something new. Inspired by some of the other people on YouTube, such as Mr. CreepyPasta or some ordinary gamers, I decided I'm going to start doing some creepypastas on BrosTHEGaming. Probably going to be like a weekly thing, like maybe 2 a week. And a majority of them are going to be gaming ones, but there will be like a few regular ones here and there. I'm gonna try and avoid doing all the popular ones that everybody already knows, and try and do some more less well known ones. I also have one that I wrote myself, which will be a video. Don't know when, but it's not gonna be this first one. In fact, the first one is a gaming creepypasta called MortalKombat.exe. So, without further ado, let's begin. I was always a fan of Mortal Kombat games, especially the Mortal Kombat Project games, before I started to hate the games. In fact, I hate even hearing about them. One day when I was surfing the internet for some games for my emulators, I happened to come upon a game called MortalKombat.exe. I'm not going to give out the link to the source of the game for the safety of both you and your computer. I digress. I expected it to be dull, but when I looked at the ROM, it said that it takes 2 gigs. So I thought to myself that the game would be exciting because I've never downloaded a Mortal Kombat game that took so much memory. So I clicked it on the download link and then started downloading the game. Surprisingly, it took over 4 hours for the entire game to download. The download then finished, but that's when things started to get weird. The download box popped up letting me know that the download was finished. So I clicked run. Then my laptop screen burst into static and started playing a frequently high-pitched sound. Then the laptop literally went black. I then grunted to myself in anger, trying to turn my laptop back on. After a few tries, my laptop finally turned on, the same as it was before, except there was the game on my desktop. I thought to myself that the laptop probably just crashed from the large download. So I clicked on the game and started playing. There was no music playing. The screen showed Goro, and there were the words arcade, versus, practice, options, and exit. So I clicked arcade, and the Mortal Kombat arcade theme burst out of my speakers violently, nearly shaking the whole house. So I muted my computer, thinking nothing of the sound, and what came up, I couldn't believe. The character selection screen came up showing a total of 276 characters. I was amazed. This is the best Mortal Kombat ever. So I selected one of my favorite characters, Chameleon. Only there were 6 versions of him, so I chose the Mortal Kombat Trilogy Chameleon. Then a box popped up to my screen saying choose stage. There was a total of 500 stages, only making the game even better. So I chose my favorite place to fight, the Mortal Kombat 1 pit. When I selected the stage, Shao Kahn's voice said, "Good choice, Lane." 2 things then popped into my head. 1, how did he know my name? And 2, his voice is coming up even though my speakers are muted. Then the loading screen came up. I had to fight Hydro, a Mortal Kombat Project character. So I started fighting, and finally I got to the point where Shao Kahn's voice said finish him. Then a box popped up showing a list of names, and one was my friend's name, Jordan. So I clicked Jordan just for fun, and another box came up saying choose fatality. Then a box popped up saying fatality 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and stage fatality. I thought that it was awesome that every character had 10 fatalities and a stage finisher. So I chose stage fatality. When I clicked stage fatality, it showed my character Chameleon uppercutting Hydro, causing him to fall into the pit spikes at the bottom. When he hit the ground, very realistic blood shot out of him and he screamed in agony. But Hydro's scream nearly broke my speakers, and that because it was so loud. I was angry that I kept hearing noises from the game as I muted my computer, and confused as to why the noises were so loud. Then the words Chameleon wins, fatality, came up on my screen, but there was no Shao Kahn saying the same, and fatality. Then Shao Kahn's voice came up saying, "You will never win, Lane." And I mean loud then. A bunch of pop-ups saying Mortal Kombat.exe is not responding came up, crashing my laptop. I was frightened. I tried to turn my laptop back on, but it would not power on. I thought that I must have been a virus. Angrily, I put my laptop, thinking that I couldn't try and fix it in the morning, since I'm good with computers. I then went to bed trying to sleep, but still thinking about why the game knew my name. I woke to a ringing noise. It was my iPhone 4. I looked at my phone to check what time it is, 2:30 a.m. I then answered the phone only to hear my friend's mom crying. I asked her to tell me what was wrong and what the screen had said. And then the siren sound was in the background. She told me that the sirens were police and ambulance sirens, and that Jordan was dead. He had several large holes in his body. I bolted downstairs trying to charge my laptop, but then a message popped up saying, "Thank you for playing, Lane, but it's too late and you still will never win." I was screaming and crying in horror and despair as several message boxes popped up saying never. Then the worst thing ever happened to me. A bunch of pictures of dead adults, children and babies popped up on screen. Then a message box popped up saying, "Look at him." Then a picture of my friend Jordan was shown. His eyes gouged out and his intestines pop out laying on the floor. He also had several gory holes in his body. The screen then went black and a Mortal Kombat font came up saying, "Lane wins. Fatality." The screen then went black. It has been 4 months since that incident, and I'm traumatized by it, just like anybody else would be. The police found the man who killed Jordan. Oddly, he's the creator of the game I downloaded. Yesterday, I was flipping through the channels on my TV, and I saw Jordan's killer in court on a TV show. I had to watch. After about 5 minutes, the judge asked him what he had to say before he was sentenced to death. He responded by looking at the camera and saying, "Lane, you will never win," violently laughing as the bailiff carried him away. Well, I have to say it was a pretty good creepypasta. I mean, definitely one better in the gaming category, definitely, because there's a lot of them out there that are kind of iffy. I mean, like, there are, of course, the classics like Pokemon Strangled Red and Escape from Lavender Town and all those famous ones, but, definitely for one that's not as well known and definitely one I haven't seen yet, this was pretty good. It didn't entirely lay on the gore factor, which I liked, and it didn't really, let's say it added a creepiness to it just by, the whole game knowing him. So, I definitely have to say it was a good creepypasta. This is the first of many, and I hope to do more of these, so if you guys like them, leave a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next gaming video and the next creepypasta. I'm Rick from BrosTHEGaming, and I'm out.